Hi YouTube, it's Jane. Welcome back to my channel. Not much ordinary. Looking a little bit pink. I've just done the school run and it's October here and it's autumn in the UK. It's very sunny but really cold. I think I might have overdone it with a blusher this morning. Oof, dear. That was a bit pasty. What I wanted to talk to you today about was being in hospital. I've been on groups before, NMO groups or other groups generally, and people often ask, what do people take when they go into hospital? Or they may have a friend or a relative that's in hospital and they want to take some things for them. And I've been in I've stayed in twice. I've had various hospital visits. And I was in when I had my son, so technically 3 times, twice with NMO. So the last time it was planned that I'd be going in. The first time with NMO it wasn't planned, so it was kind of gathering things along the way. So when I had my relapse last year and my transverse myelitis, it was kind of planned I'd be going in, so I did have some time to kind of pack stuff that I'd learned from before that I'd probably need or benefit from having. So I thought, because I've not made a video for ages and I've not written a blog post for a while, which will be happening, I'd like to think the next couple of weeks. So I've just had a few things going on recently where I've just not been able to blog for one reason or another. So I thought, we'll kick off with a video today. So number 1, what you want to take with you is what I'm using now. If you have one, your mobile phone. You may wish to take a tablet with you as well. I don't have a tablet. Take your phone, but don't forget to take your phone charger. Where I have been, there have been sockets behind the beds and you are allowed to charge your phones, which is really good, and you are allowed to use the phones in the wards that I've been on. My phone package does come with a certain amount of 4G that I pay for a month. The hospitals I've been in, you can connect to their hospital Wi-Fi. I think you get so much free, and I think that you can pay. So look which is cheapest. I think it was cheaper for me last time to just buy an extra bundle of internet from my provider, my phone network. So look which is cheapest, because the other thing you might want to take with you, and the phone charger is number 2. Number 3, some earphones. They were a godsend last time I was in. I took them with me. In mine, because they came with my phone, they've got a bit, so like an answering thing, so if the phone rings, you can talk to somebody, you can ring somebody and speak through it rather than having the phone up by your ear. It was really good because the thing was, I was kind of sat a lot or lying down a lot, and it can get very boring very quickly. So I was able to watch things like on iPlayer, for example, ITV Hub, so all the catch-up television. I had my earphones in so I could hear properly, rather than either having it so quiet it didn't disturb other people or loud enough for me to hear it. I could have my earphones in and just watch it comfortably. So that's a really good tip. I found that really, really good. And also, number 5, my phone case has one where you can flip it over and you can stand your phone up. So that is a really good thing to have, or see if you can just lodge your phone up something, and you can kind of, what I used to do was put my phone on its side, get a program if I was going to watch, put my earphones in, and then kind of just sit and relax and have it propped up, which was really good. So my little tips about phone. Number 6, you might want to take something to read. There is only so much television one person can watch, and you're in hospital for a long time. I sometimes found that if I couldn't sleep in the night, because medication I was on was steroids, and intravenous steroids are notorious for causing quite bad insomnia, that I didn't want to watch stuff on my phone, or I just wanted something a bit calmer. So I took a couple of books with me, and one of my favourite authors is Sophie Kinsella. So I had one of hers, Some Miracle I'd not read, and I also had one where she writes as, let me get this right, Sophie Kinsella writing as Madeline Wickham, which is her real name if you didn't know, and I've got a couple of those hanging around. So I just kind of put 2 or 3 in my hospital bag, so I've got a bit of choice. Number 4, you want to make sure this is if you've got time, or you can ask your family if not, that you've got some toiletries. Now the hospital are excellent. They do have everything. I went once without a toothbrush and toothpaste. They had it. It was great. They often will bring bowls around so you can have a wash, and they do often have, you know, bubbles, soapy stuff in them. But if you can take some sort of shower gel with you, and my biggest tip is when it comes to washing your hair, I mean mine's quite short and it's really dry and it's very fluffy because sometimes I've just done the school run. Because of how poorly I was, and because I didn't have any power in my legs, I couldn't really stand up in the shower, so I was having seated showers, which is absolutely fine. The last thing I wanted to do was to wash my hair, and I had extensions in last time I went in, and they were really long, so that was really fun trying to wash my hair with those in. Was trying to wash my hair with wetting it, shampooing it, wetting it, and some of you will know this, how tiring a shower can be when you don't feel very well. Then putting conditioner on and then washing it out, oh my gosh. So my biggest tip is if you can get a 2-in-1 shampoo, or get someone to get you 2-in-1 shampoo, so shampoo and conditioner together, it might not make your hair feel wonderful, but let's face it, you're in hospital, you're not going to be feeling wonderful anyway. It will be clean. That is the biggest thing, and it will save so much time and so much effort, and it really helped me a lot. So to get a 2-in-1 shampoo, and yeah, it's a big help. I've lost count now, 6, 7, 8. Anyway, the next thing I would recommend, if you can get a tube of antibacterial hand gel and maybe some like baby wipes or anti-bac wipes, just because you're not going to always be able well enough to get to a sink to wash your hands. Most of the time you will be able to, but just for yourself. I mean, I've had catheters in before, and I had one where I had to empty myself, and because the ward was so busy and because I was so poorly, I wasn't able to get to a sink all the time. I had some anti-bac hand gel, so I'd wipe that over my hands instead. So that was really, really useful. So you can get a little tube of that. It's cheap as anything, so that's a really good tip. Baby wipes can be handy as well if you just want to wipe down your surface, like your table's a bit mucky, or if you just want to give yourself a bit of a freshen up around your face, around your hands. You might not want to. If you've got them, they are quite helpful, I find. What else? Oh, maybe deodorant. Don't forget your deodorant. And maybe a bit of body spray as well, ladies. Aftershave, guys, or guys aftershave, whatever you want to take in, just to make yourself smell nice. We must be on number 10 by now, mustn't we? When I went in last time, I'd been struggling for a while anyway, before I'd gone in the hospital, and I had seen a podiatrist who had been trying to correct my walking before we all realised this was a relapse and it was nothing to do with muscles in my feet. But I had some Crocs. Now, don't laugh, but they were recommended by her and they were actually really helpful. And they had like a fluffy, fleecy line. I did do that in my shoe collection video if you want to go and check that out. And they're kind of a mixture between a Croc and a slipper. When I went into hospital, I was trying to get my trainers on, and my husband said, why don't you just go in your Crocs? Because I was struggling anyway, and I was like, yeah, good idea. And actually, that was the best thing, because when I was able to weight bear again on my legs, I could get out of bed when I was safe to do so. I could stick my feet in my Crocs, and I could go plonking off the toilet and back again. You really don't want to be lacing trainers up, and I don't wear slippers, they drive me crazy, which again I covered in my shoe video. But if you've got some Crocs, or if you're okay in slippers, take them to stick your feet in. I also, guys, this might apply to you as well, if you've got a zip up hoodie or a cardigan, I would highly recommend that, because it can get quite chilly when you're sitting around sometimes. Although the ward I was on, it was red hot, really hot, and it was November going into December, but oh my god, it was so hot. But I only had a hoodie with me, and sometimes I just wanted something over me, but I didn't want a hoodie because I was so hot. And then I was moving wards one night and they were like, oh Jane, you'll have to put your hoodie on, it's so cold. And it was cold, to be fair, on the corridors. But if you've got a cardie or something just to stick on, or a zip up hoodie, I'd really recommend that. It's much more comfortable than trying to put a big thick hoodie over you. But each to their own. Oh me, 10, 11, 12. Anyway guys, we've lost count, haven't we? The other thing, when I was in, I mean, I'm 6 foot, so next time, I mean, let's hope to God there won't be a next time, but when I was in last time, I got quite chilly at night. Even though the ward was really hot, it was hot during the day and not that warm at night. And there was like a thin blanket on the bed and a sheet so that's fine. You know, we wouldn't be without an NHS, fine. And there weren't any spare, fine. I mean, I had pyjamas on, I had a top on and a bottom, so I wasn't like that cold, but with being so tall, my feet stuck out the bottom, and I did notice a few people had got like fleecy blankets on the bed, so I think we must be allowed to take them in. So maybe take a blanket. Again, this is very much if you're planning to go in, and if you're in hospital and you're watching this, I really hope you get well soon. Or if you ask your family or your friends, you know, people say, oh, is there anything bringing? Yes, a blanket can be quite helpful. What's the next tip? Depending on where you are, you will know, if you've been in before, what the food's like. Now, where I am for my treatment, when I go into hospital, not where I am now because I'm home now, when I've been in for treatment before, the treatment I get is spot on, and the staff are brilliant, and I wouldn't fault a care. They are excellent, and they've pretty much saved me twice now. The food, oh my God, is dreadful. It's dreadful. The breakfasts are okay, but the lunches and the teas, oh my goodness me. It's such a huge hospital I go to, and you know what? I can put up with not having very nice food because the care is brilliant. Don't be afraid to ask your friends to bring some snacks in. I mean, where I was, there wasn't a ward trolley. There might not be where you are, so I remember I said to my mum one day, I'm so hungry, and she was like, what do you want me to bring? I was like, can you bring me some sandwiches? And it was the best thing ever, because I was so hungry. And I know they say, you know, you'll eat if you're hungry. I like my food. Oh my goodness, I tried so hard. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask for snacks. I also used to ask them to bring big cups of tea with them. I said this before in my blog about 2 swig teas because the mugs are so small. I did notice when I was in last time, there was a girl in there and she'd got one of those huge, great big refillable, reusable Costa cups. I was like, oh, like a thermos mug. So if I do go in again, and if it's planned, I will be taking one of those in, because when they used to come around with the tea trolley, she used to give them that. I was like, oh, that's amazing. So you get more than 2 swigs of tea. So I used to ask for 2 cups of tea, and I used to feel really bad. And they'll be like, well, there aren't enough of us to go around. And I was like, well, I'm really thirsty because I'm on steroids. And I used to have a big jug of water. I used to ask for that to be filled up loads, again, because of steroids and how hot the water was. But sometimes you just want a decent cup of tea or coffee if you drink coffee. I drink coffee very often. The other thing is cold drinks. The steroids, because they're intravenous, they give this. You'll know what I mean if you've had them. Obviously, intravenously, they go into your arm, ideally, through a cannula. And I'd say give it half an hour and you get this awful taste in your mouth. I've likened it in my blog, notmuchordinary.com, to nail varnish remover. Not that we'd all know what that tastes like, but you know, if you're a kid and you take your nail varnish off and you can't go out and this and you're like, ugh, nail varnish remover. It's horrible. So if you've got like a cold drink to take that taste away, or maybe a sweet to take the taste away, just something, because it's like a weird strong metallic taste. The other thing on food and drink, if you are on steroids, you'll know your appetite goes from normal to absolutely berserk. You want to eat everything apart from hospital food. In my case, apparently, I asked for grapes and fruit a lot. My little boy the other day told me that grapes are the fruit of the soul. I never knew that. And coming from a 6-year-old, I was quite impressed. And he said that's why people give them in hospital to people when they're poorly. I was like, oh, that's nice. That was really nice. So they're quite good because you can kind of pick at them. Pyjamas, like I've said, when I go in hospital, I mean, I wear pyjamas at home anyway. I always make sure I've got tops and bottoms and a couple of pairs because, whoops, sorry, dropped my phone then. You can get quite sweaty, obviously, when you're sitting around, so you can take a couple of pairs of pyjamas. Again, maybe if your family's coming in, just ask them to put you up some clean pyjamas if you need to. Ladies, don't forget your bra when you start to feel a bit better. I hate wearing bras, but you know, it's a necessary evil. And don't forget to take it off if you're going for an MRI scan. I've got all the way down to the MRI scanner in my huge hospital with this lovely nurse. I was just about to get out the wheelchair and I said to the sonographer, do you need me to take my bra off? Because they'll do an MRI scan of my brain and my spine. And he was like, oh yeah, please, otherwise you'll have a band across you. So I had to be wheeled out into the toilet because some muggins here stupidly didn't think to take a bra off. So I had to take it off, put it on the side in the room, not sonographer, radiographer, leave it next to him while I went in the MRI machine. So yeah, do take a bra, but don't forget to take it off if you're going for an MRI, because obviously they don't need that going across your chest and your spine, do you, when you're having an MRI scan? What else? Obviously clothes, something comfy. I just lived in like baggy tops and joggers. It's not a fashion parade. You want to be comfy. Hair ties, if you've got long hair. I had a couple of hair ties with me. That was really helpful for going to bed at night. Like I said, I had extensions at the time. First thing in the morning, anything when you feel really hot and bothered, just whip your hair out of the way. Because I've got shorter hair now, I'd probably have some sort of like headband or something to keep my hair off my face if I wanted to. Medication, make sure you take your medication in with you. Most likely it'll get taken off you, which it did with me, but my nurses were really good and they kept it separate in the medical trolley. I think they had everyone's names on, just so they could issue that to you. I mean, I take stuff for the NMO, but I take stuff for other stuff as well, like underactive thyroid, so they would know then what you were having. I think that's about it. Oh, I went in with a walking stick because my walking was so bad at the time. I took my own stick with me. So again, if you do have a walking stick or your own crutches or anything like that, don't forget to take them. My husband got me a wheelchair the night before I went into hospital. They didn't need it on the ward, but it was there just in case. I think it was kept at home or in one of the cars or something. I think that's it. You know, I'll probably finish this and be like, oh yeah. Oh, I have seen people take pens in before. You know, if your friends get you like a puzzle book or a magazine, there's puzzles in the back, a pen can be quite useful. That's quite a good tip. So a pen, magazines are always good. If you're fed up watching your phone, watching programs, you don't want to read a book, a magazine can be quite refreshing just to sit and flick through. And you can always pass it on to other patients if you want to, or leave it in the family room or whatever. So that can be quite nice. Oh, that was the other one. I found it really nice having a photo of my family as well. I've got one I usually take with me, and it's got me, my little boy and my husband. Even though I've got them all on my phone, but having just a solid photo next to my bed, just because it was quite nice. And I think it was that thing that like the nurses would come around, or the healthcare assistants or whoever, and they'd be like, oh, is that your little boy? Oh, is that your husband? And it's kind of like a talking point, but I think it helps you remember that you do have family as well, and it's not just you in the hospital. And so that's quite nice, and that can keep you quite grounded as well, you know, if you're feeling a bit out of sorts, which is natural. Hairbrush or comb. Oh yeah, I had, when I was saying about my earphones earlier, this is longer than I thought it was going to be, guys, sorry. When I was saying about taking my earphones in for my phone, I had like a little makeup bag just to keep them in, just because if I knew I was going to be moving around wards, I didn't want them getting tangled up or lost or whatever. And also I had like a toiletry bag to keep all my toiletries in, just because it was easier then when I was able to go to the bathroom for like a shower or wash my hair, whatever. It was just like in a bag I had to pick up. I know it sounds silly, but it's little things when you're not very mobile, you don't feel very well, you can just say to yourself or to somebody else, oh, it's that bag there. They're not going to have to go through a big bag trying to find everything. Ladies, don't forget sanitary products as well if you need to. I did get caught out once and the hospital did give me something. Luckily my family were visiting later and they were able to bring me stuff that I wanted, but don't be afraid to say my period started, I need something. And don't forget pants or socks or anything like that. So I think that's everything. I think I've covered everything. If you can think of anything else, do drop me a link below. The only thing I've not included is makeup, because to be quite honest, that was the last thing on my mind. I really didn't care if I've got makeup on or not. I spent most of the time looking at the mirror thinking, oh my god, I look yellow, but I couldn't really care less. Yeah, anyway, have a good day, guys. Thank you for watching. Sorry it's longer than I thought it was going to be. Don't forget to check out my blog. It's www.notmuchordinary.com. I am one of the trustees and ambassadors for NMO UK charity. If you pop it into Google, it's nmouk.org. Do check out their website and their Facebook group. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.